all of the appearances at football games, stadiums. You know, at the Steelers game, the TV network carrying the show, despite repeatedly showing Taylor Swift over the last couple of years, going to games, wouldn't dare show the love that he got in the stadium. But it was, of course, off the charts. That image is powerful. And then that brings us to this weekend, where he donned a McDonald's apron and doled out food at the drive-thru. Now, of course, it was a playful troll, since Kamala apparently lied about having worked at McDonald's. You understand, there's been no verification that she's ever worked at McDonald's in her life. I believe she was in Canada at the time in question, but regardless of that, no McDonald's franchise or location has ever come forward and said, yep, that's where she worked here from April to June of whatever year it was. No, it's never happened because she made it up. She never worked the fry machine. She wasn't a fry cook at McDonald's. She's a liar who says anything possible in order to try to get elected. So it was a playful troll, to be sure, but what it also did was connect Trump, the billionaire, with the people in a way that Kamala could never hope to do. It was such a powerful, and I'll tell you what's astounding about Trump's decision to go to Pennsylvania and hand out French fries at the drive-thru to delighted customers. And they've lied through their teeth. Oh, the whole thing was staged. It was phony. These were actors. They weren't real people. He's breaking campaign finance laws by giving out free food. His critics don't know what to make of any of it. I spoke to a number of people I know who hate Donald Trump, and they couldn't believe it. They compared it to the Michael Dukakis moment in the tank with the pith helmet. They don't realize how hardworking middle-class Americans who love McDonald's loved Trump's visit to the Pennsylvania McDonald's. They've got no ability to connect with him and no ability to connect with middle-class Americans in Pennsylvania who were enamored with his move. They don't get it. They're completely disconnected. And it cracks me up because they just think they know and they don't. They think they know and they don't. In Pittsburgh, there he was in the box at the Steelers game, the whole crowd en masse, USA, USA, USA. Here's what Trump said about working at McDonald's. Something he said was always a lifelong ambition of his.
For a job, and I've always wanted to work at McDonald's. I never did. I'm running against somebody that said she did, but it turned out to be a totally phony story. So,
President Trump!
well, that's a good-looking group. Hello, everybody.
Crazy!
I'm having a lot of fun here, everybody. Look at all the fake news of it.
So, again, you got all the iconic photos and the images, him leaning out of the drive-thru window with his power red tie on and the black and yellow McDonald's apron. It doesn't get any better than that. Add that picture to a picture for the ages. Here's the way CNN reported on Trump having a great time outside Philly at a McDonald's restaurant.
Former President Donald Trump wearing an apron, working that fry machine. Now, as I understand it, you see images on your screen of him actually working the drive-thru. We understand that Secret Service screened a number of the drivers beforehand that would be coming in for the drive-thru to be served by former President Donald Trump. And the reason that the former president is at the stop is because he's trying to challenge that Vice President Kamala Harris, who has said multiple times that she, as a younger person, as a college student, worked at McDonald's. Former President Trump, without evidence, has said that that is not true. The Harris campaign not directly responding to this stop today, but saying that Harris worked at a McDonald's in Alameda, California in 1983 during the summer when she was still a student at Howard University.
And that can be confirmed by the McDonald's restaurant, right? In other words, she's saying it without evidence. Don't you love the little dig? He's saying without evidence. How about they produce any evidence whatsoever that she ever worked at an Alameda County, California McDonald's? Notice the reporter didn't say she has claimed without evidence. Oh, no, that's on Trump. And it gets better How about one of the pinheads over from the Washington Post and MSNBC? I give you this genius, Jonathan Capehart.
Trump also stopped by a McDonald's in Bucks County today, where he worked briefly as a fry cooker. Without a hairnet, I might add. He also said he was paying for some of the meals. How is that not a campaign finance violation?
He didn't have a hairnet on. This guy's whining about not having a hairnet and paying for the meals. That's a campaign finance violation. Here's what they can't stop, and they know it. Here's the crowd that, again, NBC didn't dare show you, but thankfully lots of cameras were out to chronicle Trump appearing at the Pittsburgh Steelers game. Stadium cheering for Donald Trump, who made his appearance and waved to the crowd. I don't think it's stoppable. I don't think they're going to stop this freight train. They've tried. They've done everything they can. It isn't going to happen. Democrats are seething over Trump's appearance at the Pennsylvania McDonald's over the weekend. I'm sure they're seething about the reception Trump received at the Pittsburgh Steelers game last night. They're seething and trying to cope with all the reporting that suggests he's going to win pretty easily. And I want to warn you right now, 2 weeks away. We're 2 weeks away. I'm going to tell you right here and right now. I'm going to quote DC Drano on social media. He points out that in 2020 in Nevada, Democrats had a 40,000 vote lead on the first day of early voting. 40,000 lead. In 2024, Democrats only have a lead of 1,721. DC Drano says, this is why we must vote early, bank the votes today, bank the votes tomorrow, bank the votes on Election Day. We cannot rely on one day of voting. We have to overwhelm the fraud from start to finish. Too big to rig. You got to be voting right now. Plan on it. I'm going to early vote next week when I get back from my big road trip. We got the Battleground Talkers Tour kicking off later today. Ohio, Philadelphia, Arizona. Be crisscrossing the country, meeting with people who are excited about the election. And you're optimistic. You see the poll numbers, and they're good right now. They're really, really good for our side. The Democrats know it. Nate Silver wrote a piece over the weekend, the famed pollster, 24 reasons that Trump could win. Daily Telegraph. Liberals are starting to panic. Donald Trump is going to win in a landslide. Real Clear Politics and Silver Bulletin Polling. There's a 93.2% chance that Trump wins the Electoral College. Now, don't get cocky. Vote like we're way behind. We must overwhelm the fraud. They're already pretending that Rathlisberger, whatever his name is in Georgia, it may take a day or two. We may not get the election results that night. They're already starting their crap. Fulton County judges striking down efforts for election integrity laws. You knew it. You knew they'd do it. They have to do it. They can't win legitimately. If this election were held right now on the merits, Trump wins in a landslide. We all know that. We all know that. Trump has got a level of enthusiasm for him that Kamala could only dream about. Nobody's excited about Kamala. They're excited that she's not Trump. But they don't love her. They don't even like her. Did you hear the crowd of the Pittsburgh Steelers? What's the name of the stadium? Anybody know? Here was the crowd. Heinz Field. The entire stadium when Trump got to his skybox to watch the Steelers-Jets game. I don't even know who. Oh, I guess the Jets lost, right? Big night for Pittsburgh. Big night for Heinz Field. I'd say he got A little bit of a mild response when he showed up at the stadium. Check it out. Yeah, you got to vote like you're behind. Meanwhile, the McDonald's event is one for the ages. You just stop and think about what we've seen in 2024, from getting shot to getting arrested to going to McDonald's. And again, that headline I saw this morning has just it's going to stay with me all week long. Democrats seethe over McDonald's visit. It was perfect. I mean, on every level. Whoever's making these kinds of decisions on the Trump team, this is not your father's Republican campaign. These guys are good. These guys are real good. Of course, it humanizes him in a powerful way, which they hate. He wins the news cycle, which they hate. He mocks Harris, allegedly lying about ever having worked at McDonald's, which they hate. And of course, it proves he's not exhausted, he's not senile, he's not out of it, he's not mentally impaired. It was a brilliant, brilliant move. And you know what's astounding? You know what's astounding about it? They really don't get it. I talked to an acquaintance of mine, not a friend, but somebody that I kind of, through professional circles, know, went on and on last night about what a stupid move it was for Trump to go to the McDonald's drive-through window. Now, either you get it or you don't. You can either relate to people who love McDonald's or you prefer people who get their double lattes at Starbucks. You either get America or you don't. If you don't recognize what a genius move it was for Trump to be greeting delighted customers at the drive-thru in McDonald's in Pennsylvania, you're not going to know what hits you November 5th. You're going to lose. And you're going to be surprised. You just don't understand it. I mean, even a Kamala supporter, one would think, would have the ability to say, well, it was a pretty good move. I got to hand it to the guy. Pretty smart move. Handing out French fries, trolling Kamala, making fun of her, lying about working at McDonald's when she was younger, relating to millions of fast food workers, and embracing one of America's most iconic brands. How in the world could you find fault with that? You find fault with it because of wishful thinking. You find fault with it because you don't know what's coming and you don't accept it. You are steeped in denial. Give me your reaction to the McDonald's visit over the weekend in Pennsylvania by Donald Trump, learning how to work the fry machine, handing out French fries and Big Macs to delighted customers at the drive-thru. Do you honestly think it was a bad idea? Are you going to honestly make the case that it was a mistake for Trump to have done that? He very well may have won the election with that.